Man, when you're on a date and the date ends and you think everything went well and you kind of lean in to get a kiss.
What's one of the biggest things so many personal trainers, and this could be you because it certainly was me for so many years, are so scared of? That is sales. And just up there, I interviewed Ryan Stewman, which is the hardcore closer. And to be brutally honest, this is going to be one of the most impactful episodes where it just goes straight to the jugular. You're going to find out what it is that really matters when it comes to you selling your personal training, you being able to get the right clients on board, you being able to charge what it is that you're worth. Because at the end of the day, if you want to be able to do what it is that you want to do, because we got into the health and fitness game because we wanted to transform lives, we wanted to transform bodies, but that means you need clients signing on board. So why not embrace it? Why not actually have a proven process, a step-by-step kind of guideline where it takes the stress away, takes the confusion away, and it just gets you being able to connect with the right people and being able to sign on the right clients? Because I brutally, truthfully, honestly believe that when you actually have this process in place, it makes life so much easier. And that's why I want to share this episode with you, because let's be honest, if you're having the wrong people come on board, like for me, I only want the right type of clients coming on board that I know I can get the best results with, that I know that I actually enjoy as well. Because if somebody comes to me and they're wanting kebabs and I'm selling pizzas, it's not going to be the right fit. So let's go through it. And I want to get you taking notes. I want to get you taking action on what Ryan has for you today. It's absolutely brilliant. I'd love to get him back on. And also, I want you to be able to join us in the Fitness Business Success Circle. I'm sorry I'm walking around so much. I don't like sitting down. You'll always see if I shoot these videos, I'm always moving around. So just cop it on the chin. So join us in the Fitness Business Success Circle. This is the free group where you're going to get access to the guides, the live streams, the programs, the fitness business quiz as well. And I'm in there answering your questions as well. And I'll pop a link below for you to join the free and private group as well. Now, enjoy what Ryan's got for you. It's absolutely brilliant, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you after this episode. Ryan, thank you very much for coming onto the Ask the Pro show. I'm pumped to have you here because I have seen your shizzy out on the interwebs and I was very impressed. So when I got your email saying you wanted to come on, I was super pumped. I'm excited to jump into this. Before we start wrapping everything into this nutshell, I just want to say thank you so much, Ryan, for taking the time out and being here with us, bud.
Dude, I'm excited to be here, Chris. I'm going to bring this shit today. We're going to have an awesome podcast. We're going to deliver a massive amount of value for your people. And they're going to be thanking you that we put this together, because I feel the energy. Like the two of us are going to get on here today and have a powerful conversation that's going to help your people out. So I'm excited, man.
All right, let's jam. Ryan, before we even jump into this, because I've got a half a page of notes here. I know I'm going to be scribbling a lot more as we go through this. Who is Ryan and why is he so phenomenal?
Well, I guess I'm the ultimate example of failing forward, right? I was adopted at age 7. I dropped out of school at age 15. I've been to prison here in the States, locally, federally, and state-wise. I've had my fair share of losses throughout life, but today here I find myself at 37 years old. I'm worth multiple millions of dollars. I've got like the dream life. I have the nice family, the dream girl, the nice house, fast cars, the great clients. I run my own business. I'm in control of my entire lifestyle. I travel all over the place. We can do whatever, whenever I want. Was just last week I was mentioned, not that I contributed or wrote, but like I was mentioned in Forbes 3 times last week. And look, not some like gimmicky paid, like I paid to be in there, or I know somebody, like just random strangers that write for Forbes decided to mention me in their article, right? So like this is the life I live these days. But it's I don't want you to look at what I'm going to talk about today and discredit it and be like, oh, he's from the States or he's like born in a nice neighborhood or he's never had any trouble. Like the things that we'll be talking about today as far as sales and stuff come from experience, because I've gone through all these hardships in my life, and sales has been the one thing that's always been there for me. I couldn't rely on my family, right? If I got in trouble financially, I couldn't rely on my mom and dad to write a check. They don't have no money, right? So I had to rely on sales, and sales has been the one thing that after I got out of prison, sales made me get back in the ring again. When I got out of prison the first time, sales is what saved my life, right? When I needed to pay my bills, sales is what was there for me. So I'm really passionate about it because I know that a lot of people discredit themselves and say that they're not salespeople, but the truth is they are. Like if you're listening to this and watching this right now, you're in sales and you need to embrace that shit it, or you will never make any money at it. It is what it is.
Okay, totally on board with this, and it's so perfect because just before we hit record, I was saying like something I hear so many personal trainers say is like, I'm not a salesman, I'm a personal trainer, and I always thought that was a massive cop-out. And what I like what you just said there is you took responsibility straight away and you took ownership over what is obviously going to get you the results that you want. And we sell everything. Well, I sell myself. When I wanted to go out for a coffee to a certain cafe this morning, I was like, I want to go to this place. I had to sell us wanting to go to that place. Do you know what I mean? We sell everything. We sell ourselves. And obviously when it comes to our business, if we are good at what we do, we should be very happy. Therefore, we have an ethical obligation to actually get clients. And that means we have to sell. But maybe, why do you think, Ryan, so many people struggle with the word salesman? Why is there such a bad connotation behind this?
I have your answer, right? I know it full-heartedly, clairvoyantly, and like for sure, confidently. So what the problem is like here, like in America, we have these pit bulls, these dogs, pit bulls. Y'all probably got them too. Yeah. And the media, they hate them. They hate them. They're always talking about pit bull bites and kills another kids, but they're like the greatest dogs on the planet, right? But when you piss one of them off, all hell breaks loose, okay? Well, that's kind of like salespeople. It's like if you look at the media, they're like, look, the Wolf of Wall Street, he stole a bunch of money. They're like, look, Boiler Room, they're inside stock trading. You know, like, look, Wall Street, they're like stealing money over here. Like the only good example we have in the media of a salesperson winning is fucking Tommy Boy, right? Where the guy like goes, he gets a mentor, but they build that as a comedy, right? But Tommy, he's the true sales hero for all of us. He gets the girl, he saves the factory, he saves the business, like all through practicing his sales pitch, right? So, but we're like portrayed as these evil thieves, like salespeople are in the media, right? Every time somebody gets ripped off, it's the damn salesman. And so we have this stigma, and so people get scared. They're like, don't call me a salesman because I'm not stealing from people. And they like get this whole unnervous. It's like in America, when you get your real estate license, it says real estate salesperson. And if you call a real estate agent a salesperson here, they will flip the fuck out on you. They'll be like, I'm not a salesperson, I'm an agent, right? And just like trainers, if you were like, hey, you're a personal training salesperson, they're like, no, I'm a personal trainer, I'm not a sales. Like they've hidden from that because they don't want to be associated with it. You know what I mean? Like literally being in sales is like, you know, used car salesperson or the guy from the Boiler Room or the Wolf of Wall Street or Bernie Madoff or like those are the stereotypes that fit sales. So people don't want to be put into that box. They're like, how am I ever going to sell anything if they think that I'm in sales like the rest of these jerk offs? Right? And so like that's the true answers. We've been conditioned that way. Your grandparents told your parents, oh, the sales guy will screw you over if you don't do this to him. You know, then your parents tell you, like, go over there and stick it to the sales guy. Don't let him screw you over there. And then when you like realize that you got to sell for a living, you're like, oh shit, I'm the guy they've been telling me, like, warning me about. But I can tell you this, as soon as you just embrace it, those are the guys that make the money, right? That, like, even on those movies like Wolf of Wall Street and everything else, they just embraced who they were, man. It just did what it was that they had to do. And I'm not telling you to be unethical. You know, I think that if you sell personal training or if you sell health supplements or chiropractor or wellness doctor or massage or whatever it is that you do, yoga, whatever, right? Like, if you sell that stuff, then you believe in it, you do it yourself. And you know that you're saving these people's lives, and it's really up to your sales ability to be able to save these people's lives, because if not, they may die of a heart attack or diabetes or lose a leg or some shit. Well, all along your meal plan, your diet plan, your workout regime could have saved them, but instead you being a coward, scared to be a salesperson, and you let that person die. I mean, you really are in a powerful position as a trainer, you know?
I love it. That is an empowering message. Now, I wrote down something before when I was thinking about jumping onto this chat earlier today. I was in a mastermind last week and a guy said, and I wanted to like feel what you understand on this, is he said, salespeople do two things better than shitty salespeople. They build trust the quickest and they disqualify people the quickest. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I think disqualifying people it's huge. It's played a big part in my career. You know, people ask me all the time, they're like, how come you don't have like 1 million followers and all this? It's like, because I'm busy running people off. We have a group on Facebook, Sales Talk with Sales Pros. It has 52,000 people in there, and we kicked 7,000 people out of that group.
Solid.
Yeah, so I mean, we've run, like, we don't give a shit, you know what I'm saying? Because those 7,000 people, they're not a fit for us. We're not trying to make them a fit for us. We're not trying to get along with them. Like, we're trying to get them the hell out of our way so that we can make sure they don't, like, become the bad apple that ruins the bunch of the good people that we have. And so I always say, like, good marketing attracts and repels, right? Yes. Like how you position yourself. You should run one person off and attract the right person. And so, like, for me originally, and still today, I only advertise to dudes, right? Like when I run ads and I pay for shit, I only advertise for dudes. As a byproduct of that, some pretty badass chicks have shown up in our lives since then, like Pat being one of them, that we spoke about. But some pretty badass chicks have shown up in our lives since then. But like I knew exactly who it was that I wanted to work with and who exactly it was that I didn't want to work with. And it was really more of a personality than a gender thing. But I knew that the majority of that personality fit within dudes, right? Just like if you're a CrossFit guy and you're a CrossFit trainer, you know that most of your clients, or a power lifter trainer, you know that most of your clients are going to be dudes and not chicks, right? And so but the chicks that show up that are power lifters are going to be total badasses, right? That's kind of how it is in my business. I have to know who I can help and who I can't help, so that I don't get caught trying to help the people that I can't, taken away from the people that I can.
Yes,
so perfect. in the personal training world, sorry to interrupt, but like in the personal training world, to equate that, it's like when you're talking to somebody on the phone and they're giving you 15 excuses why their last trainer didn't work and why they can't do a diet and shit like that. Man, get rid of them. Don't be the next guy that they're telling their friends that sucks too. But meanwhile, you got a guy that's like, dude, I've had enough. My wife's not giving me blowjobs anymore. If I don't lose this weight, I'm never going to see my shoes again. It hurts my back when I bend over to tie them in the morning. I've got to do something about this. Save me, Chris, save me. Like, that's the guy that you want. You know what I mean? But the people that are like, you know what, dude, I'm not going to quit Oreos and I'm not going to quit drinking and I just want to do this. It's like, get the hell out of here then, because we're not going to be a fit. There's no sense trying to change their mind.
But you said something really good that I've been kind of like stewing on recently, is that like, are we a good fit? Because if somebody's wanting kebabs and I'm selling pizzas, we're not a good fit. I don't care how good my pizzas are. I'm not going to make you a happy camper at the end of the day. How do you help people get their message, get their shit together, that is essentially so you can be magnetic towards the right people and be repulsive towards the wrong people?
Well, a couple things. I had a guy that is in my mastermind, like the consulting mastermind that I run. Today was his first interview with me, and I was like, who does your product help? And he's like, it helps everyone. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, do we have to go with this with every person that comes in here? But okay, I'm going to help you out. And because I've been hearing this for so many years, you know what I mean? It helps everybody. Fuck, they have no clue who it helps. That's like my first. It's like when somebody says that, I'm like, oh, shit, they don't know. And so with this gentleman, he's like, and it probably would help everyone, but I'm like, you have to be very specific in who it is that you can help, and you have to create that offer. And so what I told him today was, I was like, hey, right now your person is in X, Y, Z position. They're at the beginning of their story. What's that happy ending that you provide for them look like, right? In your case, it's like, I was fat and now I'm ripped, right? I wasn't getting laid and now all the chicks can't keep their hands off of me. Right. I did feel bad in the morning. Now I can't wait to get up in the morning and hit the gym first thing. Right. Like that's their journey. And so once you identify who it is that you can take through that journey, then it's easy to sell to them, because that's who you start talking to and marketing to. And that's when those people, that when you start talking to them, they're like, oh, shit, he's talking to me. Oh, he's talking to me. I better fill this form out because he's trying to help me. That's the number one thing when people come and they work with me. They're like, I thought you were talking to me. Right, like specifically, even though we never met, they were like, I felt like the universe had you saying stuff to me. And I'm like, perfect, because you're exactly who we're looking for.
Perfect. Okay, so then when it comes to, we've got the right message, we're attracting in the right people, let's actually talk some nitty-gritty sales right now. Maybe broad strokes. This is a crappy question, but I just really want you to answer this. What makes a good salesperson?
A person that's willing to listen, be empathetic, and solve a problem. I think those are the qualities that you need. They don't have to be a fast talker, smooth walker, good looking, handsome talking devil. They don't have to be any of that. I think that if they care and they want to solve the problem, that's what matters the most. So here's the thing that you have to understand, and this is why empathy is so important. Empathy isn't sympathy. Like, sympathy is like when you feel sorry for somebody. Oh, I'm sorry that happened for you. Empathy is understanding. And people buy people they know, like, and trust. How can they trust you to have the answer if you don't understand what their problem is? And so the problem is not that they want to lose weight. With trainers, I'm going to do you guys a huge favor, and gals a huge favor. Yoga, any kind of health and wellness. The problem is not that they want to exercise. The problem is not that they want to eat well. The problem is not that they want to get up at 5 a.m. and start busting their ass and be like, because like I'm a CrossFitter, so I'm gung-ho about that shit. I was in CrossFit this morning at 6:30 a.m. Like I do it. I was there Tuesday and I was there Monday as well. Like I'm a CrossFitter, right? I'm all about that. But like somebody who's trying to lose weight, who needs to get their ass to CrossFit, ain't about that. And so a lot of the trainers, they get confused, right? They think that you should be as excited about it as they are.
Yeah.
And they're like, they don't like working out. They don't like eating. If they liked working out and they liked eating good, they wouldn't be fat and need your fucking help in the first place, right?
Yes.
And so what happens is you have to have that mindset. So you have to be like, when you're having these sales conversations with them, you have to look for these two words. These are the two most important words in sales. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how I got this. You ready? You're gonna blow your mind. I was tripping mushrooms in the mountains in Utah talking to God, and he told me this. I shit you not, right? This was recently too. And so there's two words, man. When you get on a sales call with somebody, when you're posting your offers, when you're writing your sales pages, when you're having your training sessions after they're closed, man, it's the two words that matter the most is what's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing, somebody comes to you, they're not missing exercise. They're missing, like I said, getting blowjobs from their significant others. They're missing out on their sex life. That's huge. A lot of y'all don't even talk about that with people, but the number one reason you would want to lose weight is so that you look good, so that you can get laid. Right? Nobody's ever like, I'm going to get all ripped and go home and masturbate alone for the rest of my life. Like, that's not the key to this shit. Right? But that's the kind of stuff they're coming to you from. And the difference and it's funny, but the difference is I know guys here at LA Fitness and at the box that I work out at that make $100 per person per month training them for the entire month, right? And I got a homeboy that's been a client and that I've worked with that makes $8,000 just for working with somebody for 6 weeks. And that's the difference. They both do the same thing.
Yes.
They both make them exercise. They both make them eat right. They both get their ass in the gym. My homie's making $1 million a year. They're making $50,000.
Yep, no, totally. Okay, so when we go back to this, what's missing, because that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you, mushrooms, for the psychedelic trip, because...
Goat God. He was a goat. He was a goat. I'm like, dude, God's a goat. This is crazy.
What is the
That explains it, though. We're like, oh, he's the greatest of all time. Now it all makes sense. Oh, he's a goat. All right.
I'm really happy that we've declared that God is a goat. Thank God.
I'll go home now, people. Peace in the Middle East. It's all ready.
See you later.
It's all over with.
How do we help someone actually identify what's missing in the emotional attachment? So obviously, like, I'm not missing a lack of like training from my life. I'm missing the BJs. I'm missing the confidence. I'm missing the feeling, the emotion. How do you help your clients, the people that you work with, start wrapping that around so that message actually starts to talk to the people that they're trying to get on board?
Yeah, so I always say questions lead to confessions, right? So it's your job to ask the people the question. See, a lot of times salespeople, they just start talking. And they keep talking, and they don't shut up, and then they can't figure out why the person didn't think that they were empathetic towards their cause because they didn't ever listen to them. And so if you take a sales conversation, and this is, I've never been wrong on this. Like they've sent people, we've transcribed dozens of these things. I've never been wrong with it. If you take a sales transcript of a conversation, the person that talked the least is the person that made the buying decision. So if the salesperson talked the most, he lost the sale. If the prospect talked the most, they made the sale, right? They ended up making the buy. So the key is to to ask questions so that you can understand. It's like, hey, well, what most people are like, oh, awesome, you're here to exercise. Well, what we'll do is we'll put together a meal plan. We'll stuff you in a box. We'll roll you up. We'll make you sore. They just go right into it. Instead, it's like, oh, awesome, you're looking to exercise. Well, what are you looking to gain as the result of your exercise? Right? And they'd be like, well, trying to lose a little weight. And then most people are like, okay, well, I can help you with that. And then they go in for the kill. Don't. Dig deeper. Go, well, what are you looking to lose the weight for? They might say, well, I've got a trip coming up to the beach and I don't want to be embarrassed because in July I've got to go on this family vacation and I can't hold myself accountable. They might start telling you the things that you need to know, right? Oh, shit, you're going to be embarrassed on the beach. Well, if you don't get started today, guess what? You're still going to be fucking fat on the beach in 2 months. Let's rock and roll. You know what I mean? Like, you've got the ability to figure out what it is, right? We know that if that person's self-conscious, and they're worried about being fat on the beach, then we know that we need to save them from that. And that doesn't make us dickheads for telling them that, charging them money and telling them that we can fix that problem. Like that's going to boost their confidence. And the whole time when they're walking on the beach and they've lost weight and they look good, they're going to be thinking about how you helped them.
Okay, this is brilliant. How do you help someone ask better questions?
Good idea. So what you should do is you should like prepare questions already before you get on a call. Like you should have the same set of questions. So like for you guys, it might be, how much do you weigh now? What's your goal weight? What do you plan on doing when you hit your goal weight? Are you afraid of exercise? What's your diet like? Something like pre-made questions, right? That are going to start leading to this. So like in the real estate world, when someone gets on the phone with my sales guys, at first they have 6 power questions they ask them. It's like, what neighborhoods are you looking in? What price range are you shopping for? What time frame are you looking to make the move in? Are you already working with a loan officer? Do you need to sell your house? And are you working with a real estate agent? We know if we can get those 6 questions in line, then we can start taking them down the path and figure out what the hell it is that they need.
Okay, brilliant. It's really funny because when I help the trainers, I've got 9 questions. Their script is these 9 questions that we walk through at the end of the day. And I've had a lot of people be like, this is it? Like, this is the script? I'm like, you just ask questions, they answer, and they end up actually asking how to come on board at the end of the day as well. You're not really pushing anything. When someone struggles to make the sale at the end, as in actually getting that sale across the line, I find a lot of trainers, and I'll put my hand up, I remember for years, I'd be training someone, free session, walking them through, giving them awesome value, but then when it came to actually like making the sale, I struggled. And I was being a real pussycat at the end of the day on making that, and that was obviously something I had to get over. How do you help someone just get over that hurdle straight away?
Man, when you're on a date and the date ends and you think everything went well and you kind of lean in to get a kiss, you don't lean all the way in, right? Because like you got to let them come like halfway to you, right? I learned this from my buddy Kevin Nations. I use us. Like people are like, you stole that from Kevin Nations. Like, bitch, I'm just borrowing it for the podcast. He can have it fucking back. And so anyway, like I feel like it would be the same in the gym world, right? So like you go through the training and there's a couple things that I would do. First of all, when I'm training them, I would be asking them questions so they're unsuspecting. They don't think you're having a sales conversation. You're just asking them questions while you're training them. You get in there, it's like, hey, let me ask some questions, get your mind off the workout since it's our first time together so I can get to know you, right? You're counting them out and asking them questions and like gathering your facts and data and getting them to talk to you, right? And so, and here's the thing about people, especially in America, like we don't like people to know our problems. So once you get one of the people to start confessing their real problems that they didn't want to tell anybody else, it's going to be hard pressed for them to leave you. But at the very end, after you've asked them all these questions, and the questions that you've asked them while you're training them, you should know what it is that they want, right? Whether it be the BJs or whatever it is, you should know why they're working out by the time that they're done working out. And at the end, you just lean in. It's like, hey, man, I know that you mentioned earlier you were looking for help with X, Y, Z. Would you like for me to help you with that?
Brilliant. So simple.
Nothing fancy at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you just lean in. Hey, you want a kiss? You know what I'm saying? And they can tell you one of 2 things. Now, they might give you objections. Yeah, but, it's a little expensive. Or, yeah, but it's like, hey, listen, no offense, but the excuses that you're giving me are the same reasons, the same ones that you've been giving yourself is the reason that you're in this shape. I want to help you break that cycle. Let's try it for a month. If it ain't for you can always leave, but at least let's commit and see if we can't break a 21-day habit.
Okay, right there, Ryan, that is absolutely brilliant. I really appreciate you saying that right now because I feel like so many people might have heard that and been like, ooh, I don't know, I'm not too sure if I could say that. But I feel like that's the actual, it's an honest conversation. If you're talking with someone, if you're talking with a friend and someone said, and they were trying to BS themselves, and you're like, hey, come on, don't lie to yourself, don't lie to me, do you know what I mean? This is what's really going on. That's really brilliant. How do you help people actually develop the confidence or develop the actual skill set that is being able to say, hey, I feel like this is really what's going on right now. This is what you need to do.
I think it goes back to empathy.
Yeah.
If you've bonded with them during the workout, so like I'm going to give you an example. He don't watch my shit, so it'll be cool. My guy that trains me at CrossFit, there's 3 different people. 2 of them, one of them's an old lady and one of them's a younger dude. And they're super friendly. Like if they wanted extra money, I'd give it to them kind of a thing, The one dude, he's like very reserved, very quiet, tough guy. You know what I mean? Great shape. He's a super nice guy, but he looks like a tough guy exterior and he's not very open and friendly. And I see a lot of personal trainers are that way because they're muscle heads. They're a little bit tougher. And so the thing is they don't have the personality. When you're talking to somebody during the workout, you need to be asking them those questions and getting to know them so that they feel like if you don't even if you don't have the confidence, what happens is when you ask them for that, they know that you understand their problem. It's like, hey, at least this guy gets it, you know? And I don't think that it's about a confidence thing. The fact that if you build that personality and that friendship, when you want to help your friend out, so you just like hit them up.
Okay, I totally love this. Now, when it comes to objections, how do we start to understand the best way to cover these? Or do we cover these before they even come up?
Yeah, so this is what I do is I work them into the conversation. So like I start my conversations off like this. It's like, say you and I are a salesperson. I'd be like, hey, Chris, where are you from, man?
Australia.
Awesome. You know what? I have 5 people right now that I'm personally consulting that are in Australia, that are in the personal training business, that are generating leads and closing prospects at $1,000 a month, dude. So I know what we do works in your industry. I'm excited that we could get to a chance to talk today. You see what I've done? Like it's just in casual conversation right from the get. I've shown you that it works for people just like you in your industry, in your area. I just fucking eliminated 90% of the objections you're going to give me down the road anyway.
Yes. Brilliant. And how easy is this for right now for the listener to go, okay, what are the top objections or top things people are saying against and why people are saying no to me? Literally write them down and then you can cover them even in the start of a conversation. This is why
the best thing that you can do, we give these out to our tribe members. They're called closer cards. And they have a list of objections on the front. And then the tribe members, they're my consulting clients. They write the answer to those objections on the back. So we give them like the first 15, like, I don't have enough money, need to talk to my spouse, not ready to buy today, still doing research, like all that stuff. And then they answer them on the back and then they can add to some extra ones from there. That's the best thing you can do is write all that stuff down and then write down the objections and then write down the rebuttals to those objections. Man, and study that shit for a couple of nights and you'll be used to it. It'll just be like autonomous. You don't even have to do it for like months. You don't study it every night for a month. Study it 2 or 3 times. You'll figure it out. You'll be good to go. But at least you'll know how to address that stuff up front, right? And you should know that, and it'll help you understand those common objections. And so you're like, damn, these come up in almost every sales conversation. I need to handle that before it shows up.
Yes. Totally. Okay, brilliant. Can we cover one right now? Let's just say so many people are obviously undercutting themselves, especially in the personal training world. And I want to be able to help people actually sell what it is that they need to sell to get their clients the best results. Therefore, this can be a little bit more high ticket, which is a good thing. If someone obviously has a price objection, how do you help someone start to overcome that?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, you have to understand what their problem is. Let's say in this case, their problem is they're not attracted to their spouse anymore and they're scared they're going to get a divorce. They don't get their weight together, right?
Yep.
And let's say your price is $10,000 for a month, okay?
Yep.
Like, let's just say that your price $10,000 for a month. Because if someone's in bad shape, it's got to be financially painful for them to make serious moves anyway. That's the truth, okay? So let's say that they're about to get into a divorce in this scenario because that's like your true problem. And so what I'm going to say is, listen, you know what? $10,000 is a lot of money. You're exactly right, Chris. But here's the thing. I know that you drove a Mercedes up here. You live in a nice neighborhood. We're in a nice part of town. When you get a divorce, she's going to take 50% of your net worth, which I assume is a lot more than the $10,000 I'm going to help you try to save this marriage with.
Beautiful. I love that. This is good.
You see the difference, right? And then it doesn't matter what the fuck your price is. You're like, oh shit, you're right. I'm about to lose all my money if I don't make this happen. You know, it's like, hey, so somebody says, you know, let's say they get, the doctor said I'm borderline diabetes, right? It's like, listen, you've paid $200 a month, Chris, for a trainer before. You told me that it didn't work out, right? You've paid $500 a month for a trainer that didn't work out. You're on the verge of literally having to stick yourself with the needle every single day for the rest of your life because you keep investing small amounts in yourself that's not financially painful enough for you to make the move. Let me take your money, let me get you into shape, and let's just like beat this thing together. You see, like, it's always about the underlying thing. It's never about the workout. It's like, hey, you have this problem. Notice I never said, let's go do 50 push-ups, 24 sit-ups, and get started immediately.
Okay, brilliant. Now, follow-up. If someone doesn't actually make the sale, how do we start to implement a system, a process, an understanding, actually how to get people back on? Because, yes, not everybody is going to be able to come on board straight away, but there's a really good chance that they're going to be coming back later.
Yeah, so the FU money is in the follow-up. And so that's like our old sales saying, right? And you need to follow up somebody 8 to 12 times generally to become familiar with them, for them to think that you care enough about them. So the key is in your industry, I would just hit somebody up once a week with an email and a voicemail, like a slide broadcast. slide dial voicemail, and an email just says, hey, still wanting to lose weight, Chris?
Yep.
Real simple.
Yep.
2 weeks, first week seems like nothing. 2 weeks are like, they asked me again. 3 weeks. Once you hit them for 3 or 4 weeks in a row and you're like still looking to lose weight, and they're like, fuck, a month's been by.
Yes.
And in the little emails, like, hey, this is the 4th time that we've, to try to connect with you to make sure, like, I know when you were in, you had XYZ problem, and I want to make sure that you solve it, and I'm going to, keep following up with you until you tell me not to.
No, okay, this is perfect, because what I had in place is, say, a month out from a conversation, someone could be like, hey, Ryan, how's the personal training business going? And therefore it's
going
like,
awesome.
Oh, yeah, and then, but if it wasn't going awesome, they're like, oh, I'm still in the same position that I was a month ago. Like, maybe
Right.
I need to do something a little bit different and get going. But obviously, your personal training business is going great, Ryan. I have no dramas about that one. Now, what are some best books, resources, places for someone to go right now to actually start to really hone their skill set, learn more about this, and start taking ownership with it?
Yeah, so hop over to elevatortothetop.com. That's my latest book on sales, and we've sold a whole bunch of them, but I'm giving them away at that website. It's elevatortothetop.com, and that book is designed for people to, like, with no sales skills whatsoever, from like day one all the way up to making 7 figures a year from sales, like what you should do with your money, how you should handle objections, what type of things you can expect along the way. I mean, it is everything, and it's like 40 different scenarios that I put together inside the book. So it's a powerful book. Everybody that reads it loves it. It's a quick read. In case you didn't notice, I'm kind of hilarious. So it's like fun to read. It's not boring or whatever. And so like your audience will like it. It's not some like boring ass sales book. There's lots of F-bombs and everything else in there for them to enjoy. Lots of talk about tripping God and all the good drug stuff that we do. So I try to make these things a good time in a kind of boring subject. And so Elevator to the Top will be the best resource for your people. And then my website, obviously, hardcorecloser.com. Dude, anything that you can think of over there, I've written about it. I've written 800 blog posts myself on that site. So like anything that you can think of in regards to sales, most likely is on that site.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to put both of those links into the show notes for everyone to click straight over. I'm going to go buy myself the Elevator to the Top book right now as well. I'm sold. Excuse the pun, but seriously, yeah, I'm definitely getting it. Now, tell you what.
I love the book, man.
Ryan, what is it that I can do, the audience can do, the listener can do to help you? What is it that you want?
You know what? The book and sign up at the website, man. That's all I ask for. Let me do, the selling from there. We'll see what you need, and according to how you click and all the smart shit that the nerds that work for me set up, and those guys know their fucking role, and so we'll figure it out from there. But the best thing you do is get the book or sign up at the website. And, that obviously we'll start giving you cool stuff that'll help you out from there. And you'll see some of the things that we offer and like our groups and stuff like that. And we'll see what's going on from there.
Perfect. All right, Ryan, thank you so much for your time, buddy. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to staying in contact with you. Everyone, go get your copy of Elevator to the Top right now. Don't twiddle your thumbs. And till next time, sir.
Thanks.
Now it's time for you to get the most out of this, and this is where I can jump in and give the answers that you need. So ask your questions in the comments below so I can personally come through and answer them for you. Plus, the best discussions happen on chrisdufay.com, so click on over to get everything that I've got there for you. And did you like this episode? Because if so, click subscribe so I can send you all the episodes to come for free straight to you. And for everything that I can't fit in these episodes, plus the free guides and coaching episodes, then click on over to chrisdufay.com now. Looking forward to seeing you soon and in the success community.